A very pleasant, a very blessing good morning to everyone. Today, this world celebrates Father's Day. And myself being a father, since at the age of 25, and now I am at the age of 73, it has been a very, what should I say, ups and downs, in and out, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, Umar, Muhammed, Calypsonian disciple, father of 4, grandfather of 15, and also great grand. Happy Father's Day to all fathers. Or if you are a true father, I say blessing on you. And if you are not a true father, please, you are out of timing. Please try and to be in time. I say you are out of timing because in these times, if you cannot catch up with what is going on, then you won't be able to hold up yourself to get out of father. Please don't be out of timing. Okay. So let me now start with my discourse. I usually get up on mornings and every morning around, in fact, this has been happening to me for a long time now, since I knew myself as a boy. Every morning around 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I just cannot sleep. Now, I usually go to bed around 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. But once I get enough rest or some sleep during the daytime, which is a normal thing for me, being that I'm a pensioner, a retired pensioner, I usually go to bed around 11 to 12 in the night. So I get around the 4 to 5 hours sleep in the night, and I get some sleep during the day to make up. So around the 4 or 5 o'clock, it's very difficult for me to sleep. My friends, my supernatural friends, my invisible friends, my ancestors, the divine forces, however you want to put it, the Most High, send them to me to wake me up. Wake up, you cannot go back to sleep. And believe it or not, although I try to go back to sleep, I cannot go back to sleep. But I just lie down on the bed and then I go into a sleep. But that sleep is different than the normal sleep than which I sleep. And they speak to me and they talk to me. And I start to visualize within that sleep, within that connection. I hear and I see. And I try to be very careful because it is not all connection with the divine forces, it's a true connection. For you can be deceived by forces guiding themselves as your friend, as your guardian angel, as whatever. Because remember, in this world, where if you go up, they try to pull you down. If you go right, they try to pull you left. Wherever you go. And it's not that you wouldn't get a tug and pull. It's not that you wouldn't feel the distress, the deceitfulness. Not that you won't be damaged by your enemies. But my take on this thing is if you fall down, try and get up. Be strong. Stay strong. If they're pulling you left, yes, they may pull you left, but not so far left so as to go over the border. Be strong. Stay strong. I know that I'll be captured, but I know that when they capture me, that it is up to me to try my best to get away. It is up to me to break the chains, to break whatever the time you are put or you're trying to get away. And that is what makes fatherhood challenging. You will find yourself being captured, but please do not stay within that imprisonment. Do not allow them to capture you so that they can bring you down to north. If they capture you, show them righteousness. You are escaping into being a better person. You are escaping into a best person. You see, sometimes people sort of lead you astray. Many of us have gone astray, and many of us have escaped and make ourselves a better person. Maybe that is how it was supposed to be. Many persons have gone to jail as criminals and when they come out of jail, when they came out of jail, they, they become good persons, patriotic persons. They forget or they pass through the drugs and the criminality or the violence and the crime, and they have become good persons, patriotic persons. They have become leaders in their community, righteous persons. And the experiences that they went through, they come back to tell you, hey, don't go there. They come back to show you that they will come to capture you. So here it is. As a father, you have to know all these things. As a mother too, but as today is Father's Day, I'm telling you. So within the communication, the connection with my friends, my good friends who I myself cannot see, but sometimes I see them in different forms, a butterfly, I smell a sweet scent, I may see a spider come around me, a butterfly, sometimes a bird flies into the house and it flies around and so on. They come in many different shapes and forms. I mean, if you read the Bible, you will know that the angels come to you in many different shapes, many different forms, right? Sometimes it can be frightening, right? And what they call angel, please don't go away with this thing with some kind of Caucasian with wings flying around, Caucasian baby. No. They fool us with that because they want us African people to be submissive to them and their way of life and their culture so that we can be in them and they can be in us. In other words, we become weak to them and they take our souls, or we sell our souls to them. So these friends come to me and speak to me that hour of the morning. And it is within that time, as a young man, I decided to plan. For you do not become a father without a plan. You do not become a father by, hey, she looking nice, boy. Oh God, boy, if I get that. And you picture yourself having sex with the little girl or the woman and then all of a sudden, but she's pregnant for you. No, that's not the way to become a father. Everything must be premeditated. It must be planned. There must be good intention. There must be a plan of dedication, a plan of working hard towards achieving a goal of being a father. Stop being a father by accident, but by a mental plan, a plan that You can visualize within your mind, within your mentality, a plan that you can work towards physically, mental, physical, spiritual, to make yourself a father. Because that is what you are sent here for. Go ye and multiply. So you want to multiply just by watching a woman and sexually lusting at her? No. Multiplication is not to be done by that way. So, when I wake up in the morning, this morning I awoke and I decided to say something as a father so that others can be what you call so that others can be exemplified or having a good example or something. So when I wake up and I told myself, you're a father, you know what they tell me? And now I am seeing and I'm telling you, this was for me, not for you. You have your connection in many different ways. What I hear and what I see is different than what you hear and what you see. So sometimes somebody may say something and may say, he mad, she mad. That then they're talking nonsense. Oh no. What was given to somebody spiritually could be nonsense to you. But it was given to that person spiritually so it could make sense of that person and that person only. Man, know thyself. Know thyself. You are on a mission that you are responsible for yourself even on the day of judgment. You cannot say, if he make me do it, or I was sick, she tell me that is nonsense. No, you practice what you preach and what was taught to you. So what they tell me, they said, you are a God, for ye are gods and children of the Most High. And you have made yourself a father. And within yourself, there are three persons in one God. That is you. Don't let them fool you and make you to believe that this God, this omnipotent God or the Almighty are three persons alone. That's nonsense. If you try to sit down and count the stars, you'll realize there are millions of stars that you cannot count. There are millions of people, there are millions of species of different kinds of fishes, animals that you cannot count. So don't bring down the Creator to only three. There are persons and persons and persons and persons that came out of that creation, so that they are not three persons in one God. They try to personify the Most High because they want to make you idolize the Most High. And when you idolize something, you eye it. When you can see it with your eye. When you make it an idol. A doll. Idol. You can see it. You can personify it as a doll. Stop idolizing the Creator. You can never put numbers to the Creator. The Creator is more than numbers. The Creator is more than distance. I heard a brother of mine, a friend of mine, a Calypsonian, Dunstan Lawrence. He said, God is watching us from a distance. You cannot put distance. No. If you try to go beyond the sun, beyond the stars, you can't put distance. And then you come in and say that Allah is here, there, and everywhere. Allah is most powerful. So what is most powerful? What is here, there, and everywhere? You can't put distance. There is no distance. There is no number to count with the Creator, if you want to put it that way. Because the Creator is more than all what you can think. The Creator is. So I, me, and myself. There are three persons in this God, in this one God. I, me, and myself. You have the eye, which is the pineal gland between here. The third eye. You know, long time we used to watch the Indians and the Hindus and see them with this thing, and we used to, well, we didn't put that there for blah, 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 blah. Because no priest No pastor, hypocrites and them going to tell you anything about this. Even though it is mentioned in the Bible as a single eye, they ain't going to tell you anything about that. They're going to tell you about this because they want you to see them pushing down people on the pulpit and a day of a miracle. And how many of them with all the miracles can really see the COVID-19 and capture it so that it cannot be a destruction to us? So you have the I, you have the me, which is the mentality. Mentality, now look at the word me. It starts with M-E. But if you continue, M-E-N-T-A-L-I-T-Y, mentality. This is what they taught me this morning. First time in my life. So you have the I, which is between the two I. They put this I there because this is the controlling I between the left eye and the right eye, so that when it sees spiritually, it can conduct the left or the right eye what not to see, what to see. You know, sometimes you can watch people cook eye, you can see person on the left side of your eye or the right side of your eye. If your eye have one eye, but you have two eyes. And this eye must be able to control the two eyes. So I, me, the mentality, M-E-N-T-A-L-I-T-Y. So the N, T-A-L-I-T-Y is taken out. So we are only left with the me, which is my mentality, and myself. Myself is my soul. Man, know thyself. Now the word myself is spelled with M-Y-S-E-L-F. Myself. Myself is my story, mystery, the mystery inside of me, the soul. How I react concerning certain things, how I feel, the vibration I feel, the manifestation I feel, the communication, the connection between the divine forces and myself. So this is an I here, and this is an I and I, two different eyes. Then you have me, which when you look on the outside, you can see my clothes, my hat and everything. That's me. But that outside of me, my clothes and everything, and my mentality, and the way how I speak and I talk and how my body function, could have never been without the me, my mentality. So what I eat, how I allow my body to function, my health, my glands, my heartbeat, how much I sleep, how much I work, that's me. And myself, my soul. My soul. Myself is spelled M-Y-S-E-L-F. And mystery is spelled M-Y-S-T-E-R-Y. So we're going according to letters I, capital I. Me, it's a M, starts with M-E, M-E, and myself. I, my mentality, and myself. Mysterious, they call it a mystery, but it's my soul. Once you can develop your soul, you will look up to a certain extent to communicate with your ancestors. You will be a mystery to the people around you. Yeah. They want to know what's wrong with you. Is he mad? Is he crazy? What is he doing? Why is he doing that? Look at him. As some have told me, you come on Facebook and you don't say, Daddy must save or Abby must save, and look at, oh no, that's my mystery. That's how I want to be, when I want to be. Because sometimes I do it, right? And sometimes I don't do it. Of course, I welcome the advice, and I know they are not telling me anything wrong. But sometimes it's according to how I feel when I want. Sometimes I shave clean, no hair on my face. It is my mystery. It is my story. Right? I, me, and myself. that breath of life that was breathed into me, and I became a living soul. So you have I, you have me, and you have my. I, me, my. The three persons in one God. I am. I am. Now, if you take the I and you put apostrophe and you put the M, it means am in English, or I am. So I am is pronounced am. Am. And you have um. And we know what is. This represents the As you see it here, I block off the tail of the ant. And this is what you call an electrical symbol. I was speaking to I won't say my good friend, but my son-in-law last night on Facebook, and I asked him the question, how can we classify the neutrons, protons, molecules, and electromagnetic force with the African secret science? And he said that he doesn't know. He was on the Facebook explaining about Obia. And I told him, I said, well, since he said that you don't know, that's the right Obia. Because you could have pretended that you know, but you said you don't know. If you had pretended, that would have been the wrong Obia. So Obia has to deal with righteousness as much as they have taught us to believe that Obia is some kind of demon thing. It is the righteousness in us. So this is the This represents the electromagnet, an electrical symbol. And electricity is part of our body, part of our nerves. So when we want to deal with the neutrons and the protons and everything, and the electromagnetic force, we get the You know, sometimes the Hindus have it as Shanti or whatever it is. But when we are giving it out, after it has absorbed into us, to replenish us, to vibrate, to develop us from being better, from being good to better, from better to best, it comes out. So I talk about the and now I'm telling you about the I with the apostrophe, the I and the M. I, me, myself. So if you take that I and they put apostrophe and they put the M next to it, you get So the breath of life was breathed into man, he became a living soul. But remember, you have to breathe out. So when the oxygen goes in and it does what it has to do to make you a living soul, to make your heart beat, to make your whole body a manifestation of health and sound living, it comes out. There's a cycle. That's how the plant breathes in the carbon dioxide and gives all the oxygen. We breathe in also the omnipotent forces in us, and we give it out. We breathe in the oxygen and we give out the carbon dioxide. That is, after it has done all it has to do into us, it comes out. And this is the same process what happens when we eat. We eat the food and our digestive system is a juicer, it squeezes it and it crushes it up. And we give it out to the anus, as some we say the bottom hole, the backside, the bouncy or whatever it is. And it comes out as urine. Now, according to how we live and how good we manifest ourselves with our health and our connection, our reconnection with our Creator, our connection, these things that we give out is not really waste. It can become a manufacturer for us in life. That is why we use the cow down as earth at manure. Our feces, according to how we eat and drink and what we eat and drink according to how we can be used as manure. Our feces ain't supposed to smell stink. Our feces can be recycled. Our urine can be recycled. But let's continue. The I, the me, and myself. So the am, 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 the is in the am is out. The you can never say and give it out. And that is what makes the recycle of the forces that makes you continue to live. The in of the oxygen, the out of the carbon dioxide, into the plants, and the plants breathe it out. It recycles to the plants and it comes back to you. So that when you're living in a concrete jungle, it makes no sense to you. Have you seen people living in tall buildings? They still have to get a little flower plant. Yes, because nature is nature. You stick to nature. You stick to the earth. When the Pope bows down, when people bows down, somebody tell me, go down on your knees. It's not just go down on your knees, but go down on your knees and let your forehead hit the ground. Just as when the electric people come and they want to wire your house, they make sure the ground hit the wire. So we continue. So being the I, the me, and myself, the three persons in God, I have to go with that and have a plan within that, the and the am, to make me the and the am, that I can produce other and ams to call them my children. So I can be the and the am of my children. That makes me the father, the I, the me, the maintenance, and the mystery. Sometimes my children, as big as they are, will give me advice and they will talk to me. And sometimes I know I welcome the advice, I welcome. And when I go and I lie down on that bed 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, they will tell me that is your child. He has his sole purpose on earth. You have your sole purpose. He has his journey, you have your journey. Even though you are giving you a good advice, and sometimes you have to take it, sometimes again you have to ignore it. Follow our advice. Because we alone know when you are on that bed lying down, you communicate with us, not with him. Yes, you can communicate with him in a dream, but we have the final say. It is we who send you, he didn't send you. It is we who have here, it is we who know that you are beginning to your ending. Your and I am what I am. So being a father is a plan. So when you have that kind of mentality in you, you make children to follow that kind of mentality. And the only way you can have that mentality is to connect yourself to a relationship that has to manufacture what you have put into that relationship. That connection is a woman. That connection is a woman that represents Mother Earth, the first woman, Mother Nature. The principle of being impregnated with a seed and bringing forth fruits. So that woman created a woman, and out of that woman came a man. They told us it's the opposite way around. So if you take a rib from a man, You have made the man less than what he is. Now look at this nonsense. You take a rib from a man, you have made a man less than what he is, and then you put the rib in and make a woman, and you're calling she the weaker sex. It are no weaker sex. We all are strong within our own direction, within our own ways. So you have to walk hand in hand with the woman. You have to plan. And when you plan, you will be given a woman. You may think that it happened just like that. But according to your plan, according to your mentality, what you sow is what you will be given a woman. And when you are given that woman, you have sex with that woman, you become a father. And you have to be a dedicated father. And you have to maintain yourself, but within the wombs and the arms, you have to be tried with the wombs and the arms. What you breathe in, what you breathe out, that is your trial. Do you want to breathe in nonsense? Do you want to breathe out the quality that was given to you and breathe in the emptiness, the vanity, the nonsense that you hear all around you? The foul air of bad talking, mauvais langue, gossiping. Listen to some of the politicians and to some of the lies of the priests and the pastors. Some of the people you see around you. A lot of us absorb it, breathe it in. What the eye sees, it affects the mentality, the I, the me. And according to the mentality, we have an option, a choice, whether if it's to absorb it or not to absorb it. Whether if it's to protect ourselves against it. Some of us do not protect ourselves against it. We go with the flow. And the flow doesn't flow out, it flows in. And we say, yes, it's nice, it's good. And while it goes in, it runs the nature out of us. So we don't connect with nature anymore. We connect with a sort of pork, artificial flavoring, artificial coloring. Wine and jam, gishy good. Nothing wrong with the wine and jam. But there's a right way and a wrong way of doing everything. We listen to the politicians, UNC, PNM. You know, I was on the block and I heard some of the young men talking about UNC and PNM. Nonsense. All of them are being controlled by the minority, the 1%. So whether UNC or PNM, since I've been a small man, I know that PTSC, Citygate, is in one condition. I saw old people always cutting the skin and lining up. Since I've been a young man, I know PNM and UNC, you go in the hospital, you stay in a long time, you have to be frustrated, people bundle up together, they're waiting for the name to call. Since I've been a young man, I've seen vagrants all over the road up to today in spite of the COVID-19. Like, none of them UNC or PNM can get away with everything. So I don't like to waste my time on these people. These people know fully well that they are being controlled whenever they get in power by one force. They are in authority, not in control. I've been saying that so many times. They are not calling the shots. So the I, the me, and myself, yeah, make yourself a good father. When you get a wife, it depends on the kind of wife they give you. According to your journey, according to how long you have to be on earth and what you must go through, from what you must not go through to put yourself a father, probably they may give you a wife. She's very rebellious to you. Oh Lord, I don't know why they give me this woman. I plan all my life to have a good woman and good children. Look what they give me. Look what they give me. A prostitute. A whore. A rebellious woman. The and the arm to the connection of your ancestors. It is what you have to use to know what they have given to you and to know why they have given that to you. Because if the blacksmith or the ironmonger, or the person who deals with steel in building a house wants to build that house properly. You don't get a straight steel and build a house with a straight steel. What must you do? You bend the steel. You bend. You have never seen anybody building a house with straight steel, right? Straight steel. No bending steel so straight. The house won't stand up. You bend the steel in order to connect the joints together so that you can build the house on a solid foundation. The man who deals with the iron, he has to heat the iron and burn it in order for it to bend, in order for he to get the iron to his image and to his likeness. As I was saying to a young man, he said, if God is a perfect God, how come God create imperfect human beings? No. Imperfection is with us because we cannot see and hear and know the things that we should really know. But perfection is with the Almighty. So if the Almighty created imperfect human beings, as we say, we are not imperfect. How can we be created in the image and the likeness of the Almighty and we are perfect? If I want to create a car and I make the car with two small front wheels or two bicycle wheels in front and two car wheels behind, and somebody say, why are you doing nonsense? How you could put them two bicycle wheels on a car? I know what I'm doing. I know it's perfection for me because I know it is exactly how I wanted it, so it is perfect for me. But it is imperfect for you because it is not to your image and likeness. You see what I mean? Okay. So the image and likeness of a woman in front of us can make us either perfect or imperfect. It can put us at the crossroad. Should I or should I not? Should I leave my children? Should I go? Should I divorce? Should I get married? That's your mission as a father. I heard a person whom I know on Facebook yesterday saying that she bring up her children and nobody, she don't want nobody else to bring up her children because, yeah, you can say that you bring up your children. But if you do not bring up your children the right way, if you do not lead the right sexual life in front of your children, if the children do not have a father, a righteous father, if your children do not have principles, etiquettes, morality, if you do not teach them, if you do not dress good in front of them, if you do not talk what you should talk in front of them, if you have 1 man, 2 man, 3 man, if you are children for this man, how can you see you are not bringing up your children? The things, the negative forces, this system of the beast is they are bringing up your children. Because when you lead that kind of life, your children will be exposed to the beast. They'll eventually become criminal because look at my mother. She does not dress good in front of me. She does not talk good in front of me. She has 1 man. No, I'm not saying the person is this person here, but I'm just drawing a reference. She has 1 man. She has 2 men. I am the son of 1 man. My other sister is the sister of an ex-man. She isn't working anywhere. Wherever she works, she spends her money. She wants to play rich. So my children go to school and they have no proper example. They fail the exam or whatever it is. Especially now more than ever when there's no school. Right? And you cannot get yourself as a father or mother to show the direct principle, the etiquette, the morality, the virtues in front of your children. You may think you're bringing up your children because you have them in a home and because you can't tell them what's the ways, do this and no. Because when they want to get that sense of understanding of what goes on in the world, and they have that cell phone or that computer in front of them, you give them no protection. You're not going to do some warn them. You didn't warn them and teach them the way they should be warned and the way they should be taught. So they are being exposed. They see you doing things in front of them. There is no parental guidance for the cell phone, so they put on the cell phone and they see pornography, they see what they have to see, and they go and they test it out. It isn't to say that you are telling them, look, whatever you see there, don't do it. Right? Because if you do it so and so and so. No. So whenever they find themselves into an action that is not lawful, that is not right, especially for their age, if you were the person really bringing them up, then they will not have formed themselves into that action. Even though you made their children, but you do not make them man. If you had prayed together, stayed together, lived together as you should, your children will not have formed or your child into that action. Which means you say you are doing something that is not teaching your children, because children live what they see and what they hear. So, Mr. Father, be very careful to what you do, what you say, how you dress. You have one woman, your child say coming on with your child say down the road with the next woman, your child. So the kind of wife that is given to you to make a family, the kind of children that you have, the rebellious children, all that is a test to you. The hardened, the stubborn, should I or should I not? Please, Father, do not allow your children to control you. Please, Father, do not fall in love so much with your children so that you will spoil them. Oh, he's a good boy. My son didn't do anything. Remember that children today could be a saint in front of your eyes and a criminal behind your back. So keep looking back when you cannot see them. They may be behind your back doing something. When you look back, hey, where are you doing? You think I didn't see I was looking back? Don't just keep looking forward, because when you're looking forward, they will put themselves where you are looking, and they say, see, I don't do nothing. I never did anything. And you will say, no, I didn't see him then. He was in front of you. He wasn't behind you. So, all fathers, praise and thanks to the woman that you have made that child with. Whether you divorce, whether or what. Now remember, and I have to say something, because I'm a divorce, I divorce. Whether you divorce or whatever, the woman that you make your children with, nobody could ever out of that from you. That is your children's mother and you are their father. If for some reason or other you don't know who is your father, as I said, the faults of the parents will sometimes be a curse to the children, and you go along thinking that you don't have a father, you don't know who is your mother. Make yourself a spiritual father. Speak to them, talk to them, and they will guide you. For they were spiritually inside of you before you became a physical father or a physical mother. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. Everything I say, you may not agree with it, or you may say that I'm wrong in some parts, but basically what I'm trying to tell you, that a father is one who seeks knowledge. A father is one who knows when to have sex, when not to have sex. A father, many things. That doesn't mean to say that a father won't go astray. But I've said before, hold yourself up, because we have the nature in us to be down, to be up, to be right, to be left, to be wrong, to be right. But then we have the nature in us for us to know, hey, you were wrong, but you were not too wrong. Or you were wrong, ask forgiveness. Or probably you were wrong because you really didn't want to be wrong, because of curiosity. Because of not having the energy to think on the spot when things happen. You find yourself being led astray. You know, if you are standing on a road, right? Or let's suppose you're in the river, you're down in the river, and something fell from you and you go to retrieve it or to pick it up. But you didn't know that the rain was falling on the mountains. And then as you bend down to pick it up, as you raise up, you see the water cut, the river coming down on you. You hadn't time to think carefully. It carries you down. But as you're going down, if you happen to be afloat and you see something to grab, You see a drowning man will grab at a straw. You grab at it and you pray that you will be saved. And if you grab at a straw, and the most I see you grab at a straw, that straw, and you have faith, that straw can keep you afloat. Who knows, you may be able to get up and walk on water. Because let me tell you something now. There are certain times in life that things happen to you and you ever tell yourself, boy, I don't know how I get away, boy. Boy, by the hook and the crook, boy. Whether you are a criminal, whether you be a thief, whether you are a good man or a bad man. I am sure there are times in life certain things happen to you. Bo, police shooting at you. Bo, somebody shooting at you. You see police all along like, swing. Or you running down a hill. Or you run, somebody running, you run across the road, you didn't look left and right, it just happened. Well, boy, any port in a storm, let me run. And then when you reach across the road, you see car passing, you say, boy, how I get away from that? How come I didn't get knocked down? As a father, we know how long you are here for. We know what you are here for. So we save you. We give you a chance to say sorry. We give you a chance to forgive yourself so that you can make yourself a better person in life. Because sometimes you meet yourself at the crossroad and a decision is important. Where to go? How must I go? Questions. So I say happy Father's Day to all fathers. Whenever you get that erection, whenever you get that stand, or whenever you catch a stand, you must involve the I, the me, and myself. Otherwise, you may be up on beyond the table $2,000, $26,000 for maintenance, and that is bad. That is very, very bad. You bring something into this world, and you owe that something money. No, you owe that something honesty, dedication, because if you had given that something, that honesty and dedication, you will not be in court for maintenance. So Umar Muhammed Khalid Sunan disciple, 73 years of age, a father of 4, grandfather, great-grandfather, grandfather of 15. Well, I know that I'm a great-grand, but some of them I lost contact with them. And next thing I want to tell all you, children, when you grow up, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days will be long, whether you're small or you grow up. Remember, your father and your mother brought you through different times, different timing, under different conditions. So probably what they have done wrong, please don't go back to them and say, I can remember you do me wrong. I can remember you do this. I can remember you do that. You're alive. Your father is wrong. Your mother is wrong. And they still have that, whatever percentage of love they have in them for you. Honor them. Never go back to your father and your mother and say, I can remember, because remember that the times that they did wrong is not the time that you are living in today. And you don't know in this time today what you may do wrong according to the times. According to this time we're living in, the COVID-19 is very trying. Right? When our fathers cannot work, when our father cannot go out, when we have to be in prison, we have to wear the mask and so on. It's not the times that when they make you. So it's a different mentality today with cell phone and all these different things going on. And what was wrong for yesterday could be right today. And what was right today could be wrong for yesterday, my children. So please do not go finding fault with your father from 20, 30 years ago. Give your father the encouragement. Tell your father all the good things he has done and what you expect him to do. And let's all go forward, because you are a father too. Have a good day. Blessing on all fathers on this Father's Day, the 20th of June, 2021. Umar Muhammed Khalid Sunan disciple.